What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good? As of this recording, this is May 8th, 2026. This morning at 8 a.m., there was a tweet that I saw. And it said something to the likes of, today, the U.S. Department of War is releasing the first wave of UFO files to be disclosed. The page looks something like this: www.war.gov/UFO. And I find it funny that instead of it being on aliens.gov, which is something I have to go and research myself. Matter of fact, let me look at that website right now. Yeah. I find it funny that aliens.gov, it used to be aliens.gov that some of these files was going to be released on. That is not a fact. It's on the Department of War. The Department of War. Make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, please make no mistake that the powers that be don't make mistakes with coincidences and we just put it on here just to put it on here. Everything is done on purpose. They are setting up with what I believe, since this is coming out on the Department of War site, they are setting up and pre-programming the public, if you're smart enough to look at it from an outside point of view, that these ships and these aircraft is potentially hostile. They're potentially a hostile phenomena, these UFOs. Their technology is way better than ours, first of all. If they were a hostile phenomena, they would have already took over. That's my point of view. So, let's get back to these files, though. I went to this site, and I said, what's the fastest way for me to look through these files? And if I need to clarify anything, I could always go back to the actual file itself and check out what I missed, see any details that I need, and even organize these files the way I want them to, if I can't organize them with the actual file itself manually. I went to ChatGPT. Man. And I asked this thing. I said, let me tell you exactly what I asked it. Where is it at? Basically at the top. Alright, so I'm not going to go all the way to the top. Basically, I downloaded the file itself on the website, www.war.gov. And I downloaded the first file because I'm going to do my own due diligence. And I'm going to take my time. And I'm going to download the file, and I'm going to have ChatGPT make me a full dossier of this file. Organize it by event, organize it by actual alien or interdimensional evidence, organize it by what intelligence agency is the ones conducting this. Organizing the way that when I'm looking through these files on ChatGPT, that I know exactly what I'm reading and I could correlate things the way I want. I suggest you do that yourself. Right? But for me, looking at the very first file, as you notice at this bottom screen right here, this is the first page. This is the first page of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 files that are downloadable that you can pick. I went to the first file and I looked through it, right? First I hit download. I didn't even, when you hit download, it shows you first before you download it, so you see exactly what's in it. Let me show you how many this is, bro. This is 184 pages with one download. Okay? One download shows 184 pages. There's a lot of people saying, yo, this is on the file, this is on the file, that is on the file. There isn't a soul that just got these files today that has read all these files. Because there is thousands of them. If this one download got 184, let me tell you that ain't nobody gonna go through all these at one time. But the smart people are leveraging ChatGPT to look for them. So through my ChatGPT, I'm going to tell you what the first file said. I'm going to tell you what it said. And I'm going to also show you that I did a visual dossier instead of just reading this file. I did a visual dossier that shows key points in the file that may or may not be important to the overall picture. But what I noticed with this first packet, this first download in PDF, I noticed that the FBI, when they are sent to these locations, they take pictures, they take note, they file everything. They file even if just only the people are looking at something. All that becomes a part of what the overall picture is. They look at the culture of the public. For example, after I did the visual dossier, where is this visual dossier? I did the visual dossier. I said, yo, ChatGPT, make me a visual dossier and put it in a PDF file. And it made me this. Very organized. ChatGPT has gotten a lot better in the past couple months, I must say. But that's besides the point. First thing is from the very first picture that ChatGPT has showed me. Exhibit 1, archive cover, FBI Central Records Center file identification. The cover anchors the source as FBI Central Records file labeled. This is what the damn folder looks like. Old, beat up. It's been around for a while. Right? AFSCA Flying Saucers International Convention material. So there was a culture around these flying saucers in Reno, Nevada. There are pictures being showed. They had Flying Saucer Clubs of America. There was a culture going on back then in the 1960s. July 8th, 9th, and 10th. This convention was going on in 1966 about flying saucers. There was a culture around it. All right. That's what I want you guys to do when you guys are looking at these files. I want you to leverage ChatGPT as your helper, your assistant, something that's gonna help you go through these files as thorough as you possibly can, with a lot of speed, with more speed than you possibly can. AI is a tool. Money is a tool. Your car is a tool. Your brain is a tool. Everything around you, everything that you can feel, touch, see, can be used as a tool for you if you know how to ask it questions, especially AI. Especially if you know how to use and utilize the thing that you want to help you. You got to know how to utilize this thing. AI is so powerful. You could ask it to do whatever you want. It's going to do it for you. You ask it the right way, it's going to do it for you. So the very first file, agency organization. This is how I organized the file. And you're going to see how I organized it. A, FBI DOJ. The FBI is an archival owner and routing agency for this file. Most FBI activity in this section is administrative, receiving letters, making replies, forwarding material, recording public concern, and noting that the FBI did not have investigative jurisdiction over UFO sightings. They did not have investigative jurisdiction over UFO sightings. The clearest repeated FBI position appears in several letters. One strong example says that the investigation of identifying flying objects is not, never has been within the FBI's investigative jurisdiction. They never had jurisdiction over the UFO files. FBI role in this file: record keeper, correspondence handler, referral agency, public inquiry responder. The FBI does not appear to be claiming alien craft, recovered bodied, interdimensional beings, or confirmed non-human intelligence. This is only from the first folder. What you find in the other folders will be up to you. I'm just telling you what I found with ChatGPT from the first folder. Now, we could visualize some of this stuff right now. We could go through it. Where is this shit at? Alright. We could go through this right now and see what it looks like. They taking pictures. You see, J. Edgar Hoover himself is written on a page of one of these files. The guy, the FBI director, the one who, one of the founders of this thing, man. You see it. You see this thing, bro. Now let's go back to what my ChatGPT says. B, the U.S. Air Force. The U.S. Air Force appears as the agency repeatedly referenced for UFO reporting. So these guys seem like they have the jurisdiction. Several FBI replies direct correspondence to the Air Force, especially the Inspector General, Department of the Air Force, Washington, D.C. There are also references to Project Blue Book, not Blue Beam, Blue Book, the Air Force's official UFO study program. Air Force role, primary official UFO reporting channel during this era, the 1960s. Notable file theme: citizens often believed the Air Force was withholding information. Citizens often believed the Air Force was withholding information. The FBI repeatedly pushed UFO matters towards the Air Force rather than handling them directly. Now, this does make sense because the Air Force is the ones that's in the air. They're going to be seeing these UFOs, the flying objects. It's only making sense. You got pilots, helicopters, everybody who is the aviators of the government. They got to take pictures. They got to send them back. They got to report. If they're chasing one of these things, they gotta say it. They telling you how fast they going, why they can't catch them. They, all that. They showed all that throughout history with that. So it makes sense that the Air Force is directly responsible for the reporting. Now, let's get down to C. NASA appears in the UFO contact IGAP journal material. A NASA letter from Goddard Space Flight Center responds to a person offering to show a film. NASA says the official is not really qualified to judge the film and suggests the person contact someone else at Goddard who may be appropriate. NASA's role, not investigative in this file. NASA appears as a contacted scientific authority. Now the straight answer, it appears as a contacted scientific authority. D, the University of Colorado. That's interesting. You got a school that's also a part of these files. The file contains references to Dr. Edward U. Condon and the University of Colorado UFO study. This was the major Air Force funded scientific review project in the late 1960s. So the University of Colorado was funded by the Air Force. That's a fun fact. That's a Snapple fact. Category: Scientific Research Review, UFO Research Controversy. High historical importance because the Condon Committee became central to UFO policy and the eventual wind down of Project Blue Book. E, local law enforcement and local officials. The file includes public official correspondence and newspaper clippings involving local police, local sightings, and local public reports. Role: a local eyewitness reporting layer, usually appearing through clippings or letters. FBI field investigations. F, UFO organizations and private researchers. This is how you got to organize your stuff, fellas. AI is your best friend if you want it to be. Okay? This file heavily features UFO groups and researchers, including organization figure. This is giving me a list. How they appear. Okay? Now I told ChatGPT to find the major categories inside the file. And if I want to do any deeper dives, then I'll go and look in the file myself. But two heads are better than one. Right? Two heads are better than one. Number two, major categories inside the file. Category 1, FBI correspondence and jurisdiction replies. These are the backbone of the file. Citizens write the FBI. They're writing the FBI themselves, asking about UFOs. Communist influence. Hidden government knowledge. Photos or flying saucer reports. So since back then, the people has always been skeptical of the government. But not as much as today. The government's skepticism towards the government, I should say, is higher than it's ever been because of obvious reasons. The FBI usually responds by saying UFO investigations are outside FBI jurisdiction, which this was true. So I'll give the FBI that. You guys kind of told the truth, or at least from this file, it seemed like it is what it was. So this also organized it in terms of importance, evidence value for aliens, and evidence value for government process. The importance was high, is high. The evidence value for aliens low. Evidence value for government process high. Most important takeaway, the FBI did not frame itself as the primary UFO investigation agency. It treated many of these matters as correspondence or referral issues. Category 2, UFO magazines, clippings, public culture. A large portion of the files consist of UFO publications and newspaper clippings. These include convention programs, basically showing you the culture that was going on, the trend that was going on around this time. People, what's the word? Glorified these sources. They made conventions out of these sources. They probably made fan clubs. They made events out of seeing these things. So these things were prominent back then. People really see these things. People were outside a lot more. People looked up at the stars a lot more back then. There wasn't a phone to be distracted by. So I can see why this makes sense. Examples visible in the file. Let's get back to reading this off of ChatGPT. Item AFSCA Flying Saucer Convention, Reno, Nevada, July 8th through 10th, 1966. Flying Saucers International, Philadelphia-based UFO publication referenced by FBI memo. So there was publications that was actually in rotation back then in the 60s talking about UFOs. Imagine that. Imagine that. UFO Contact / IGAP Journal, June 1967 issue, International Get Acquainted Program. Flying saucers are real. AFCSA promotional material. Newspaper clippings, Oakland, Wichita, White Sands, British Columbia, Soviet radar, and other reports. Importance high for cultural history. Evidence value mixed low because many items are third-party clippings or promotional materials. The file contains multiple sightings reports. The file contains multiple sightings reports, mostly through newspaper clippings or citizen letters. Notable sighting clusters. Location: White Sands, Missile Range, New Mexico. UFO Contact, newspaper style article. 29 sight UFOs over White Sands Range. So it's showing you what places, where they're at, and what did they see? What did they say? Right? So there was in New Mexico, sightings in New Mexico, sightings in Canada, sightings in Uruguay, sightings in Moscow, Russia, sightings in Kansas, sightings in California, sightings in the Washington, D.C. Well, there's letters, newspaper clippings. All right, cool. All right. Category 4. So look, man. Let's really talk. Let's talk while I'm here. I'm gonna save my opinion for these files that they put out. I didn't expect them to put the things that was gonna shake up religion. I didn't think that they was gonna put out that so quick, and I don't expect people to see those things in the first day of these files coming out. I don't expect people to see religion change or things that need to change in religion seen in these files. I didn't expect that. I'm going to also keep digging. I'm going to say this, though. If they don't talk about reptilians in these files, because they're putting out bundles and bundles every week or whatever, however they doing them. If they don't talk about reptilians, if they don't talk about interdimensional beings, if they don't talk about the Galactic Federation, if they don't talk about the Anunnaki, if they don't talk about Jesus, if they don't talk about Adam and Eve, if they don't talk about the Book of Enoch, if these things aren't mentioned in the files, if they ain't talking about how reptilians are in high places, whether they're celebrities, whether they're people that's high ranking in the government, those are the files that they're hiding. They are putting those away on the side. Okay? That's what they're doing. Because I'm going to be honest. I've already been disclosed, not by the FBI, not by the NASA, not by the government. I've been disclosed by watching movies. I've been disclosed by noticing that they put everything in the movies. I've been disclosed by looking up and watching remote viewers on YouTube. I've been watching people that's really out here telling people the information, telling people what's really going on. And I've been doing my own research on top of that. I've already been disclosed. I already know what's happening. I already know the most important parts of this storyline that's about to take place. This next phase, this disclosure. Are you ready though? Or have you been looking at things? Have you been checking things out? Have you been listening? Have you been asking questions? Are you skeptical? It's okay to be skeptical. But I think you need to ask questions. I think you need to do your research after being skeptical and having an open mind to be proven wrong. Because there are things that's going to be revealed to us that's going to be shaking up a lot of people's thoughts about religion, thoughts about themselves, thoughts about their purpose. This is going to wake people up. COVID ain't wake you up. The virus ain't gonna wake you up. The Iran war is not gonna wake you up because we've been going to war for a long time. The only thing that could wake you up truly out your slumber is the truth. Do I expect the United States government to tell us the truth after the Epstein files? Not really. Not really. I already kind of know the truth already. I want them to show me something a little different that I could just add to the knowledge base. I know a little bit more. Show me something. Teach me something. Okay? Let me show you this. This is what... Listen, this is a very important part of my ChatGPT file, right? Let me get off my little rant. Category 6. Alleged secret craft technology claims. One of the most interesting categories as explained by ChatGPT. I'm going to give my AI a name at some point. A. Frank Edwards, Flying Saucers, Serious Business. The file includes discussions of Frank Edwards' book and claims about UFOs as metallic objects, landings, burned vegetation, electromagnetic effects, and reports of occupants. The FBI memo summarizes some of these claims because the book-related article came to the Bureau's attention. Holy shit. Importance: medium-high historical value. Evidence: low to medium because it is a book summary material, not FBI verification. The letter B. Paul L. Payero, Flying Mushroom. This is one of the highest interest parts of the file. It involves a man claiming knowledge of a craft referred to as a flying mushroom, allegedly tied to wartime German Austrian engineering. There is claims and rumors that after World War II, or during World War II, I should say, whether I'm wrong or not, please tell me. Please let me know. That the Germans had held onto UFO technology. It was advanced in that way. They learned how to reverse engineer some of these craft. The section includes FBI reporting descriptions, drawings, and images. Category: alleged secret aircraft, exotic propulsion claim. Importance: high interest. Verification level: unproven claim. Best use: worth separate deep dive. So, my ChatGPT is telling me I need to go back and look for this section and deep dive in myself and really take that time out. Really look at, this is what ChatGPT determines is the most interesting thing. Let me go see what's going on for real. Go back to the file itself. Check it out. And also, you see this? Listen, man. There's some people out there right now that's trying to tell us the truth. You got the Elizabeth Aprils of the world. If you've been checking out her content, Elizabeth April. This is a remote viewer. Because I'm in tune with the auras of the world, the tech line, the tech. If somebody's telling me the truth, you can do it too. When somebody says something to you, there's something in your body that's telling you, whether it's subtle, faint, or blatant, that this person is flat out lying or telling the truth. These remote viewers that I've been checking out on YouTube, at least one of them that I've been tuned into kind of consistently, they've been telling the truth a lot. In America, we're skeptics. In America, we fall for the part in the movie where, or we're always the guy in the movie that says, you sound crazy. You sound nuts. What are you talking about? I think that's a psyop as well. Why, instead of not automatically believing something, which we don't have to automatically believe anything, if somebody gives us information and our body tells us, because I think everybody's body tells you when somebody's telling you some bullshit. Even if they are telling you some bullshit. We all got phones, computers, tablets. We could pull up, we could do research. We got means to get books. We can talk to people. We can find different perspectives to tell us if this information that has just been told us is correct or not. I try not to jump to conclusions. The worst thing you could do is jump to a conclusion. That's the worst thing you could do. Once you jump to a conclusion, you're making a big mistake because you might have learned something that day, not jumping to a conclusion. These files are going to show us a lot. All right. Do your due diligence. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you feel about these files. What have you found? Holla at me on Twitter. Holla at me on Instagram. 8 Left Earth. Holla at me on Twitch when I'm doing my videos, when I'm doing my jumping on the game. Let me know what you think about these files. What have you looked at that I haven't looked at? Let me know, man. I'm out of here.